news. Zoran Mamdani has won the race for New York City mayor, according to Decision Desk HQ, ushering in a new era of progressive politics in the city and reigniting the debate over Democratic Party's future. Mamdani, a 34-year-old Democratic socialist, is poised to become the first millennial and first Muslim to lead New York City after a campaign that pulled off one of the most stunning political upsets in recent memory. He defeated former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who mounted a long-shot independent bid after losing to Mamdani in the Democratic primary, and Republican Curtis Sliwa, I think that's how I say it, doesn't matter, in his bid to succeed Mayor Eric Adams. I don't know. That feels good, man. A lot of people were looking forward to that. It's certainly a lot of New Yorkers, more than half, were looking forward to that. Q, anything here?
Bravo.
Yeah.
Right. In a very divisive race where establishment Democrats wouldn't even endorse him, where Republicans and Democrats show that they're still Islamophobic, where racism, as usual, peered its head from under the covers or under the hood, whatever you want to call it. A progressive, non-establishment candidate who seems to be for the people won. And we get an opportunity to see what it looks like when you're governing for your constituents instead of for the corporations that paid for your election. So bravo to New York. As I've began to lose faith in our institutions and our electoral process, this one feels good. I won't pretend that it doesn't. And I'm not from New York. I don't live in New York, but bravo. I'm proud of you guys.
Yeah. And another thing is that for those of us that wanted to see Bernie in office, we're going to get a chance to at least see what holds, what is buoyant about a democratic socialist philosophy. So really excited to see what happens in New York under his leadership. All right, moving on. The new class of female Democratic leadership. Okay, so a lot of key races that, people were watching across the country really went the way of Democrats. That just is a truth that no one can deny. Democrats are not out of the woods, of course, and there's still a long road ahead, but it seems that maybe this is a win for Democrats, or maybe it's simply a loss for Republicans. But either way, the reality that scares a lot of people that we are currently living in right now, this authoritarian reality that is reminiscent of Nazi Germany with the secret police and the Gestapo and, for all intents and purposes, a dictator who ignores court orders and is long been a national embarrassment, who has cost us, our ranking on the global stage and our freedom and autonomy as citizens, a person who's declared war on U.S. cities, who's painted his political opposition as enemies of the state. These Democratic women who have won these seats feels like a breath of fresh air. And, in a country where, and Q and I have even had this conversation back and forth a couple of times where I think, wrestle with the idea of a woman in a leadership capacity still, certainly at the highest level. When we think about Hillary Clinton, we think about Kamala Harris and their bids for the presidency. It feels good to see women win. Q and I are champions of girl power on this show, and all of our shows. We certainly believe that there's a seat at the table for all people. They could be black people, they could be women, they could be Muslim people. I think that that's what makes America America. I haven't forgot about the Great American Melting Pot, nor have I forgotten about the Great American Salad Bowl, where everybody gets to still be who they are, but come together and make the finished product better than what it would otherwise be. And so it is with great joy that I share these stories with you today. I'm very excited. So Again, the new class of female Democratic leadership. All right, this is from The Hill. Representative Mikey Sherrill, the Democrat from New Jersey, defeated former New Jersey General Assembly member Jack Ciattarelli, I think that's how I say it. All right. The Republican in New Jersey governor's race, securing a major win for the Democrats in their first election cycle since the start of President Trump's second term. According to Decision Desk HQ, Sherrill, a fourth-term congresswoman representing a district in northern New Jersey, fended off a competitive challenge from Ciattarelli, who ran for governor for a third time after narrowly losing to New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, the Democrat, in 2021. Murphy is term limited and couldn't run again. All right, let's move on to The Hill, talking about former Representative Abigail Spanberger, the Democrat from Virginia, defeated Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears, the Republican, in Virginia's gubernatorial election on Tuesday, according to Decision Desk HQ, becoming the first woman to serve as governor to the Commonwealth. Her victory in the closely watched bellwether state will be touted by the Democrats' moderate wing in particular as the party wrestles with how to define itself heading into next year's midterm elections. All right. And now for the hat trick. NBC News, Virginia State Senator Ghazala Hashmi, on Tuesday became the first Muslim American woman elected to statewide office in the U.S. with her victory in the state's lieutenant governor's race, NBC News projects. Her historic victory comes the same night that former Representative Abigail Spanberger, who NBC News projects as the winner in Virginia's governor race, became the first woman elected governor in this state. For something like that, for again, a Muslim person to have a moment, a couple of moments, with Mamdani in Virginia's lieutenant governor race. We know that Muslim people have had a tough time in this country, particularly since 2001. I know of Islam to be a religion of peace. I've visited tons of countries, but I've visited lots of Islamic countries as a result of that. And I only know peace from that group of people. And to have them be mischaracterized for such a long time and further disenfranchised in this land is a heartbreaking thing to witness, certainly under this administration that is famous for, among other things, the Muslim ban. To see moments like this happen, I'm confident that community can take pride in the results of these elections in particular, and I celebrate with the Muslim community. But we're not done. Mary Sheffield has won the nonpartisan Detroit mayoral race. That's Detroit. I'm being funny when I say that. The Associated Press projects Sheffield, who is the city council president, will be the first woman to serve as mayor of Detroit. So again, a lot of girl power out there, and I mean women power, but the common phrase is girl power. So hopefully no one takes offense to that. But again, I'm really excited. We're not out of the woods, but it's nice to know there's still a little bit of breath in this body, and there's people that are, I'm sure, very excited to hit the ground running and opposing some of the cruel and intentional legislation that is coming out of the current administration. So excited to see what comes. Q, your thoughts?
Listen, this is a national platform that we're on. Mm-hmm. We get to speak to the people in Los Angeles every day, which is really, really incredible, especially those who are listening to us in the car. We're getting you to and from work. It feels super special. Like every time we say that to each other, we turn up a little bit. Yeah. Because Los Angeles means something special to us. Ram just talked about his second home being Detroit, but his first home is right here in Los Angeles, California, Compton to be specific. My home, his second home, Detroit, Michigan. I'm not going to pretend that's not the, most exciting part of the story for me. So what up, Doe to Mary? Shout out to Reverend Sheffield, her dad, who did my mom's pastoral ordination. A lot of people don't know that. So Mary Sheffield winning is like one of my relatives winning. The first woman mayor of Detroit is a Black woman from the West Side. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big deal. I actually stopped by Mary Sheffield's campaign office when I was home visiting my mother a couple of weeks ago. So shout out to Danielle over there at the campaign office. Shout out to Mary. And again, shout out to Pastor Reverend Sheffield. Mom, say hello to them for me because I know you be listening, you be finding a way. But this is a moment, man. We have had discussions about the efficacy of women candidates and how their capability to win, their capability to run, their capability to legislate is kind of unmatched. But the patriarchy still exists. There are still those who question women's ability to lead, even though they keep saving the day over and over again, all throughout history. Black women, but women in general, they have the talent, they have the mind, they have the wherewithal, they have the perseverance to lead. We've known this forever. They have the brain power. Stop questioning it. Stop backpedaling. Stop being hesitant. You know, Ramses said the phrase girl power, like he said, that's the common way that it's stated, but we do not mean that to marginalize or shrink or belittle. Women have the capabilities to do everything. And it's about time that we start recognizing that. And it's refreshing. And I feel more hopeful today than I probably have in a year. You know what I mean? Like watching people show up and vote, votes being counted, and the rightful people winning. It feels good. It's refreshing. California, do y'all thing, man. Shout to New Jersey, shout to VA, shout to Detroit, shout to New York. California, do y'all thing, man.
Yeah, especially
California, do y'all thing, man. You know what I'm saying? The Dodgers just won this time. You know, ignore the signs, Ramses.
No, I get it. I want to add one thing.
Kendrick said.
Let me add one thing before we move on. Though, it's something I heard. I think it's really funny, but there's a saying that I've heard said before that women who seek to be equal to men lack ambition. I think that like really, I think that really embodies kind of what we're trying to say here. So anyway, yeah, shout out to all the winners. We'd love to see it. All right, let's move on.